Okay, recording is started. Get back on track. All right, so starting again. So September 18th, we'll complete the voting, accept last minute nominations. And then the first board meeting in October after that, that's when the new board members will take over. That'll be their very first meeting. The current set of board members will attend that meeting as well, just to help with the transition and answer any questions. And then starting in November, that'll be the first fly-free option, for the new board members. Does anybody have any questions about the process or any of the deadlines? Okay. If you guys have any, just feel free to reach out to us anytime. Okay, so kind of to just give you guys an idea for those of you who haven't served on a board before, or you do have interest in running for this one, a few months ago, last fall, we opened up the board mentorship program. And this program was just meant to allow any interested members who want to serve or, considering serving to just learn from the current board members. Be able to ask questions. We'll be able to onboard them to a lot of our current programs and procedures. So we had 2 that were selected. So you guys know Claudia and Tyler from Edmond. So they've been in the program for a couple of months now. They're going to share their experience through the program, just to kind of give everybody a look into what it might be like to serve and just some of their impressions. So you guys want to come up or just stand there? Microphone, you have to come here.
So I'm Claudia Lamar. I started with Edmond Stormwater in December of 23.
And I'm Tyler Delval. I started with Edmond Stormwater in July of 23.
So when COSWA announced the need for 2 at-large officers, we kind of jumped at the opportunity to serve on the board that our municipality benefits from. Derek, Jordan, Holly, and Rebecca have taught us many of the ins and outs of what it takes to be on the board. We aid in correcting and finalizing agendas, meeting minutes, and some of the print materials that go into circulation for events. We were taught how to allocate funds in the budget and store the records for members and future members of the board. We aided in double checking all treasury funds for the previous fiscal year, and we vote on purchases, help decide what swag we're going to buy, vote on outreach material and changes to the bylaws. I know for me, I didn't really have any expectations when starting this position.
Yeah, I would say it's the same for myself. I think it was just a big thing for us just to be able to be a larger part in what COS was doing, and just continue that advancement of bettering water quality in the state of Oklahoma.
I don't have any negative things to say. We've learned a lot so far in the 6 months that we've served.
Yeah, I would agree. If anybody has any questions on to further what you guys may think that being on the board of COSWA is, we'd be happy to answer those questions.
Yes, just so you guys know, we didn't run them entirely off. Claudia is planning on.
Yes, the city of Edmond does plan to have hopefully a spot on the board as part of that. So.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you guys for sharing. Another interesting thing that's happening this year is, believe it or not, this is going to be the 5th year that COSWA has been a nonprofit. So celebrating 5 years is a really big deal for us. That's going to be October 9th. That's our official 5-year anniversary after we applied to the Secretary of State for our 501c3 status. So we would like to hold some type of celebration for that. Nonprofits, we're a little bit like a business, right? Making it past, several years, that's a really big accomplishment. We've come a really long way. If you remember, this involves, getting a PO box. This involves, creating bylaws, all of our social platforms, establishing training and our appearance at events, creating this reputation, right, in Central Oklahoma, and preparing our long-term goal of, where do we want to be in another 5 years? Is it going to be more of a state, organization? Creating new programs, new training offerings. So, just think about where we've been, where we are, and then where we're going. So more to come on the celebration. But yeah, just give yourselves a pat on the back. This is a really big deal for COSWA, 5 years. Another way that we've grown in the 5 years, right, is our membership. So one of the first things that we did as COSWA, was set, our tiered membership program. And this was meant to be as inclusive as possible, allow many different organizations, MS4s, no matter size, no matter budget, to be able to benefit from the services and metrics that COSWA is going to provide. So currently we're up to 23 MS4 members. We have 17 affiliates and 16 in our friend category. So you can see the growth here. Most of it is really positive across the board. So these are our current members. And this is all on the website too. So you guys can always, go and check out our directory there for the up-to-date membership. These are our affiliates, and we do have one brand new affiliate, just a few weeks old. We have Minic Materials has joined us. If you guys aren't familiar with Minic. Oh, and they are online. Excellent. But we're really excited to welcome Minic. I actually stopped by Minic last weekend to get some material. So I can tell you it was a super easy process. Staff were fantastic. So thank you, Minic, for joining us. And then we have our friends here. So you'll see we try to, as we get new membership, I always make an effort to make sure we share that on Facebook. So this is the post that we did for Minic. But we also have other interested organizations pending. So we have Buyers Creative that will be offering a training opportunity for us. And we'll talk about that in later on today. But we also have City of Ponca City that's interested. They reached out to us about the rain barrel sale. So as next fiscal year, they'll be joining us, most likely as an affiliate, possibly as a full member. So we'll look forward to joining them and having another option for residents to place orders for their rain barrels. Okay, so we also try to, based on a bylaw requirement, we look at our bylaws every year just to make some tweaks and changes. And we have made a few almost every year that we have done it. So we had a membership meeting in September that was open to everyone. And we had a lot of people attend that and provide their recommendations and suggestions and ideas. So the board then met again more recently on February 5th, took a look at everything that was submitted, added in some of our own ideas. And then what we have today and what we sent out as part of the business packet is what we have to present to you for approval today. So Rebecca's going to go over the next couple of slides just to show you specifically what changes are being proposed. And then when we go to approve the business packet, this will be included in as part of that approval. So that'll be all the minutes from December, as well as the treasurer reports, and then the bylaws. So we'll just approve the whole thing all at once, all those action items. But Rebecca's going to go through each individual change right now.
Thank you, Jordan. So the first change is in section 3.1 membership, paragraph B. We do have a few MS4 permit holders that are affiliates, so we wanted to kind of just clarify that language just a little bit further. And then we had the innovation of thinking that perhaps because a lot of our colleagues in the stormwater sector are just really strapped time-wise, such as ourselves, we wanted to consider providing the opportunity for affiliates to become serve as officers and vote. So we did add that in there. And then section 3.3 of Article 3, voting. Each full dues paying member entity and affiliate entity will have the right to a vote. So that again just kind of furthers that thought process. And again, clarifying that affiliates can vote and entities that don't pay member level or affiliate level dues have no voting rights. And then in Article 3, Section 3.4 dues, we've never done this like retroactive if we don't meet our budget, charge everybody, sort of do a surcharge after the initial billing. You know, most of us are municipalities that and everybody that would be a full member would be a municipality. And all of our budgets are tight, not just our time, but our budgets. And so we decided to eliminate that. We've never done it, and we decided we probably would never actually do that. But we did make a change to paragraph B to just provide additional opportunities for affiliates to get different recognition levels. So we added a mist, shower, and downpour donation level. So good times there. I can let you guys see that. It says affiliate entries. I don't know how well you guys can read that. So affiliate entities receive acknowledgement on the COSWA webpage and an opportunity to present information at a membership meeting or during training events. Affiliates may elect to donate based on the following tiers. Again, mist is $100 to $199, shower $200 to $299, and downpour, as opposed to toad strangler or gully washer, we decided on downpour for $300 or more donation. Yes, that's a great idea. If you serve on the board this next year, then you could make that amendment. Hint, hint. You should apply. No, just kidding. And in Article 5, committees, Section 5.1, that first paragraph, we wanted to clarify that at least one officer shall serve as board liaison for each established committee. And then we added, upon approval of these bylaws, new and existing members shall elect to serve on the committee of their choosing. So we would like to encourage people to participate in the committees. So we would ask everyone to actually do that. And we'll send out information if these changes are approved and ask people to select a committee to serve on. Can I deviate from the agenda and ask maybe our outreach and events committees to just talk a little bit about what you guys do? Yeah, just come on up, Katrina, if you would, because the microphone. Just like 2 seconds.
Hi, I'm Katrina. I run the events committee. What we do is rain barrel sale, and we do the home and garden show.
So kind of coordinating volunteers and getting some dates together and email coordination and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. But we put together the events.
For very good. All right. So. And if you want to come up, or are you going to do it? Okay. Come on over, Jordan.
So, you know, with outreach, right, we're the face of COSWA. So any printed material, all the social media platforms, so that's YouTube, that's Facebook, the web page, we manage all of that. We support Katrina and the events committee. We assisted with the updates to the booth for the Home and Garden Show, that big, beautiful new display that we have, helped with, price estimates and quotes, and working on the design back and forth with the vendor. So outreach, it's pretty multifaceted. we try to help with any with the presentations for the meetings. We provide guidance documents to all of you. For example, for the rain barrel sale, the presentation, the training materials that we provide to you about those events. And we draft, our SOPs for these events, a lot of those types of internal guidance documents. So yeah, without outreach, it's definitely, it's a working committee, but we have a lot of fun right now. It's just Holly, Kaylin and I working on this. So anything else I'm missing? Annual report? Annual report, that big, beautiful, glossy booklet that we send you. Yeah, that's also the outreach committee.
It's just Jordan. She just does it. All right. And then the last change is just housekeeping on that last page. We would update the dates on the bylaws. So, Holly? Oh, are there any questions about the bylaws in the room? I can check my phone here in just a sec. If any online people want to post any comments, questions, concerns, thoughts. Okay, there aren't any questions on.
Hey guys, the business packet was sent out, I think Monday. Had time to review it. We're going over the membership minutes from December 11th of 2024, the financial reports for November and December of 2024, and the financial report for January 25, and also those amended COSWA bylaws. I'd like to make a motion to approve the packet. Do I have a second? I think Catherine raised her hand first, so Catherine Thompson second. And can I get a vote? Majority.
And then Katrina, I think you are up to share some updates on the events committee. So we'll bring that up next.
So for at least for the 2025 Home and Garden Show, thank you to everybody who was able to volunteer during that time. We really appreciate you guys. We did have a volunteer training for the Home and Garden Show on January 16th of this year. Jordan was really great. She was able to talk to everybody and kind of let them know what to do at the Home and Garden Show. We had 59 survey responses and 8 winners, so that was great. And we did have 20 COSWA booth volunteers. So again, thank you to everybody who volunteered. But next year, looking into 2026, we're going to need a couple more volunteers because a lot of us had double shifts. So if you don't mind, signing up for a shift, that'd be great. Again, we're trying to look for more volunteers. So please really help us. At least for the booth update, as you can see in the picture provided, right here, that we have a new background, new floor, new display. It looks amazing. It was great. A lot of people passed by and they interacted with us a lot, and it was just great. Especially the raffle wheel, and we had a lot of prizes that we gave away too. As for some COSWA branded giveaways, we also had some seed paper and core planters, and we distributed 1,672 promotional items. If you guys don't know, we are doing our 2025 rain barrel sale with Upcycle. So the rain barrels are $69.50, and we do have some order deadlines coming up with Norman and Noble. The deadline's gonna be March 30th, followed by all the other cities, as you can see. So definitely, get your, if you're gonna, run this rain barrel, oh my goodness, try put some information out there. You can, send mail-ins to your residents. You can put stuff on Facebook. So try to promote it as much as possible. So if you need help, you can contact Jordan or I. We can try to help you with that information to send out to your residents as well. As for the rain barrel sale, how are we doing? So you can see here we have 2023, we have 2024 and 2025. So let me see. Sorry, you updated this morning, Jordan. So
Got the second March
Okay. Yeah, this morning we got the second. Yeah, if you guys couldn't hear online, we got the second March numbers that came in. So we were doing really good in December and January and February, and we kind of are low right now in March. But I can still see that we have, April and a little bit of May to go through. And especially a lot of people start buying rain barrels through OKC in about April timeframe. So I think those numbers will definitely go up. But yeah, again, just continue advertising. Like you can do your utility bill newsletter, social media, webpage, public events, and press releases. So definitely get that word out there. Any questions about Rain Barrel or Home and Garden Show? Or how you can be involved in the events committee? It's currently just me and Catherine on the board, and Jordan helps us as well. So if you're interested, definitely reach out. We can get you guys involved. So. But next up is going to be Outreach Committee updates by Jordan.
Thanks for tuning in. Just to give a few updates on our social platforms. So this month, as you know, is Women's History Month, and we started doing a series to highlight several of our COSWA female members. And that has really helped increase our following. The first post that we did, we're over 2,000 hits, and that has blown our previous highest level of impressions completely out of the water. The previous record was 700. These posts are earning thousands of hits, and 95% of those are outside our membership. So that is, that's not a COSWA member. That are people that are not following COSWA, that have probably never heard of COSWA, but they're seeing our posts. So I was really encouraged by these posts. I'm excited about this series. And we're going to continue this all month, but that has boosted our followers. So now we're up to 134 on our Facebook page. For YouTube, as we have meetings and training events, those videos are starting to grow too. So we're up to 23 videos. We had a lot of great trainings in the last 6 months. So if you haven't checked those out, those are there for you. We did have an increase in subscribers, so we're up to 12 now. If you want to subscribe to that channel, you'll be the first ones to know when those training videos pop up. So I definitely encourage you to subscribe. And then with our webpage, this is a little bit more of a static. So we have 12 subscribers for that. That also went up by 1. We are doing our Rainbow grant application again this year. So the board recently approved 2 applications. So we have one for the city of OKC for their industrial workshop coming up in May. I know many of you guys will attend that event. And then we also had a brand new applicant from Stuart Little Day School, and they're up in Tulsa. So that'll be the first one in Tulsa for us. But they actually run a little garden and farmer's market booth. So they'll use the rain barrel in that garden to help support the kids' activities with the farmer's market booth, which is kind of exciting. This year we ordered 7 barrels as COSWA, and then Upcycle, our vendor, donated an additional 4 barrels. OKC had lent a rain barrel to COSWA last program year, so we're just going to return one to them. So we had 10 barrels total for the program, and then with the 2 approved applications, we still have 8 barrels that are up for grabs. And I do want you guys to remember that these are available to you as MS4s. If you want to have one for a display in your building, if you have an event coming up that you want to use it as a raffle, that's what this program is there for you. So please feel free to apply. And then the board, once we receive it, we'll just review your application at the next board meeting and let you know. But these are for you, so please try to use this resource. So we mentioned the annual report, so we will issue this to you guys every year. Right now, it's currently in board review, and we plan to release it after we have our next board meeting here on March 20th. In addition to the glossy booklet, one thing we started last year is also an Excel spreadsheet that has all those metrics. So a little bit easier to digest, allow you to incorporate it into your own annual reports a little bit more easily. So you'll receive both of those after March 20th, and then you can incorporate them. And remember, if you need anything, to review last year's reports or 2022 or 21, those are also on the web page. The PDF of the booklet is on there. And if you need anything or have any questions about the ARs, just please reach out. As far as future events goes, I'm going to share a couple of training events that we have coming up, as well as some volunteer opportunities. As far as trainings, we've got 4 upcoming events. The first one is on March 17th. It's from 1:30 to 3 with Auburn University. So this is part of their grant project where they're developing new geotextiles to help with nutrient reduction. We've had them on our radar since they received the grant a little over a year ago. So we're really excited to have this presentation and see how their project's progressing. Rebecca. Yeah. Okay, if you guys couldn't hear online, Rebecca mentioned that March 17th training, this is the only one of these 4 that you have received a calendar item for. The other 3 are pending, but you'll receive calendar items for those as well. April 2nd, that's the second option that we've got coming, and this is with Buyers Creative. This is that new, potentially new affiliate that we have that's pending. Buyers Creative, they're going to be discussing outreach options. Is that correct, Rebecca?
They've done like a activity book with them. They've done a lot of different environmentally related subjects and outreach materials for several different communities, and they just wanted to see if they could participate in COSWA and possibly other services to anyone in our membership.
For those who couldn't hear Rebecca, so Buyers Creative is a company that helps develop outreach materials. They've previously worked with the city of Tulsa on developing a coloring and activity book, but they're going to be sharing information about what services they can provide as far as outreach goes. So that'll be a really interesting opportunity as well. And then April 24th is our most recently confirmed training. This is going to be with OU and OSU, continuing our graduate student presentation series. That's always an excellent. We usually have 3 to 4 different graduate students presenting updates on their research. So this is, very cutting edge, very up to date. So I definitely encourage you not to miss that. And then the last one we have scheduled right now is May 2nd from 2 to 3, and that's going to be with American Excelsior. Now, as far as volunteer opportunities, we've got 2 options right now. The first one is with the City of Yukon's Festival of the Child. COSWA has assisted Yukon with this event in the past. I know we presented this as an option last year, but we weren't able to provide any assistance. But Kaylin, if you know, she recently transferred to Yukon. I have added her event to our online volunteer sign up. So it's the same sign up that you guys are used to signing up for the Home and Garden Show. And these 2 events have been added to that sign up, and it's this QR code. It's the same link. It has not changed since everybody was signing up for this year's Home and Garden Show. These have just been added. But that event is going to be May 3rd from 10 to 4. We have broken this one up like we did for the Home and Garden Show. So instead of doing like a whole day, you can sign up for 2-hour shifts. Kaylin, do you want to talk a little bit about what activities you guys are going to be offering?
Yeah. Familiar with it, help with the virus game. The other thing I'm gonna be doing, because it was really successful in our last public outreach, is the fish prints. So just this big rubber fish, and you get bingo divers, and the kids dive all over the fish, color whatever they want, and then they put a piece of paper on it, and it makes a print of the fish, and then the back of the paper talks about riparian areas and watersheds and the importance of it. So if you don't have time to educate, they still get to take that home and hopefully read the back of it or have their parents read it. And anyone that participates in the viruscape is going to be put in for a raffle. So when kids tie.
You guys did that last year. Yeah, so if you guys haven't been to this event before, it's really well attended. I mean, hundreds of kids. So she does have some volunteers that have signed up, but we do need a few other people for some of the shifts. For those that couldn't hear Kaylin online, so the activities that she's going to be hosting is the Enviroscape model. So if you have any experience presenting with the Enviroscape, please sign up as a volunteer. And they'll be doing some other activities with the kids, some art projects, and they also will have a raffle for a children's kayak. So I know they've done that last year as well, that raffle for the kids' kayak. So it's always popular. The second volunteer opportunity we have is the Oklahoma Water Resources Board Water Appreciation Day. You'll remember we did this for the first time last year. It really gives us an opportunity to, potentially speak with our legislators, and it's a different audience than we typically have. So that was a really great event. I know ODOT was there as well last year, so we got to see Amber and Catherine there. DEQ makes an appearance there as well as a lot of other organizations. That's going to be from 9 to 3. And again, we try to split it so you don't have to dedicate as much time into 2-hour shifts as well. So if you're interested in either one of those, please visit or sign up. Yes, ma'am. Yes. So the one thing about this May 13th date for the Water Appreciation Day, unfortunately, that is coinciding with Oklahoma City's industrial workshop. On that particular day, our workshop spans 2 days, but this is one of our days. So a lot of us will not be able to attend this event like we did last year. So to hold it, we'll really need to depend on all of you to be able to volunteer for the booth that day. Because Derek, Rebecca, and I and Holly will be tied up with our workshop. So please consider volunteering for that event. Being free helps, yes. Another thing that Outreach has in the works right now is our annual advertising campaign. So our digital advertising is currently being finalized with the vendor Tyler Media. I'll have more information for you guys later. I can send an email out to everybody once that's 100% ready to go. But we will have a 30-second video airing as well as the banners that you see as an example that OKC did last year. We'll also have it on social media. And we have, you'll remember the one thing that the digital advertising has as a benefit is targeting very specific zip codes across Oklahoma. So we have 134 zip codes that include all of our membership. So we'll be reaching Stillwater, we'll be reaching Muskogee, more communities than just here in the metro. So if you are a member, if you're an affiliate, your zip code's included in this. So all of these metrics, all of these hits, you'll be able to count. So I'm excited to see how this is going to perform. Our digital billboard campaign, that is confirmed. So that'll be running at the end of March through April in 5 locations. It'll be the same 5 locations that we've been doing for the last 2 years, except for one because it was already sold out. But they were able to provide an equal one that was affecting the same region of the metro, which is the Yukon Mustang area. And it actually has higher counts. So we'll get more impressions out of this year's campaign than we have previously, which is great. And then as far as radio, we're going to schedule that for June. And we'll still stick with the 4 radio stations, but this will give us time for everybody that wants to record a new radio spot. If you've never done this before, it's really simple. You'll spend more time traveling to the radio station than recording your spot. But we get a fantastic amount of impressions from the radio advertising. So if you're interested, go ahead and let the board know, and then we'll put you on the schedule and help draft a script, or you can pick from some of our existing scripts and just record those again. Last year we had 6 communities participate, and the year before we had 8. You might have heard, this is the tagline is the everyday environmentalist, if you've heard those on the radio. So if you're interested, keep that in mind. We'll be sending out communications about preparing for that aspect of the campaign very soon. Does anybody have any questions about the advertising campaign? That's pending. It's going to be end of March to April. I'm still working with our contact and making sure that that gets done. Sometimes they just need a little poking. But I'm very good at poking. So this is going to be done by March into April. Okay. One thing I forgot to mention. So obviously Derek is not here. Forgot to mention that at the beginning. So Derek has to step in to help out another division with Oklahoma City temporarily. So he's going to be with our streets division in Public Works for the next several months. So in that meantime, Rebecca is stepping up to lead the Stormwater Quality Division at Oklahoma City in that time frame, and he's also having to step back from COSWA. So you won't see communications or see Derek at meetings for the next couple of months. Depending on his availability, he might be able to pop in. But I meant to mention that first thing. But since he is not here, I'm just going to relay the information that he was going to share for the Regulatory and Training Committee. I did want to just remind everybody that that EnviroCert certification opportunity is still available. That's available to both members and affiliates, and you can do any of these certifications that are listed. So there's quite a few to pick from. With this particular offering, you can study and you can set your exams all at your own pace. All you need is a couple of discount codes. For details, there's an application guide, step-by-step, that was provided to us by EnviroCert to help you go through the process. And those documents in that email has the codes and all those assistance guides. So that was sent out on December 17th. If it's gotten lost in your inbox and you're interested, just email me and I'll be happy to send that back to you. But it has all the information you need. But of course, after reviewing it, if you have questions, just reach out and we'll provide help. The codes were, the question was, how long are the codes valid for? The codes were valid for a year. So yeah, you have an extended period of time to study and schedule the exam. There is a local exam location here in Oklahoma City. So you have that ability to test locally. You're not going to have to travel to Texas or Kansas or anywhere. You can do it right here. Now, if you happen to try to enter the codes and you get an error, it's saying it's expired, all you have to do is reach out to us, and EnviroCert said, we will extend it. So if it gets to the end of the year and you're, maybe you're a month late and wanting to schedule your exam and to enter that code, just reach out. So don't feel like if you see an error that it's over. We can ask EnviroCert to extend the codes. But good question. We have been talking about having another certification or refresher with Dr. Vogel through the Oklahoma Water Survey. For those of you that have that certification, we are currently working with Dr. Vogel to finalize those details, but we're planning on having that course as an offering. It'll be set up just like we did a couple years ago. So that's going to be either June or July of this year. So if you need to have that refreshed, or you want to take it for the first time, just go ahead and put that date on your calendar. And then COSWA will be sending out some more communications about that very soon. Does anybody have any questions about either of those two training opportunities? Okay. All right. Miles, one thing we like to do at each meeting is just give the state some time to provide any updates or tips or tricks that they want to provide. And Miles is not going to be talking today. It's going to be Mark. Graciously declining. That's okay. We'll invite Mark.
Thank you. Okay, they gave us 15 minutes and there's no way we're going to fill all that. So just don't get your hopes up. The big news is that the e-reporting rule is coming shortly, June. And what that really means for the MS4 programs is that annual reports are now going to be done all via the electronic webpage we're setting up and forms. And it's very much narrative reporting, so it's not that different from what you've already been doing. It's just you're going to fill in little drop-down boxes. There are parts where it'll ask for more, especially measurable goals. It still has to be quantifiable, measurable goals. So that didn't change. But yeah, it's going to be via the electronic reporting. This starts for the fiscal year coming up. So October, those of you who have your annual reports coming up in October, that's you guys. Your next annual report will have to be done through the e-reporting. We will be doing a training on this. We're wanting to do a training via COSWA and GCSA for you guys, and then going to have some general trainings for anybody who's not a member at DEQ's headquarters, and maybe up in Tulsa. We'll see what we can do with that. But those dates are not anywhere near set yet. That's the big news. The other news that we got, annual reports now require a 60-day response regarding issues found. So when I respond to your annual report and I say, I couldn't find X, Y, and Z, it may be that I just missed it and you had it in there. Say, it's on this page. I don't know what's wrong with you. That's okay. Also, if you didn't have it in there, say, here's what we're going to do. This is when we're going to have it done by. So I have something to say, this is how we're repairing that missing spot. Okay. With the measurable goals I mentioned before, that is still a problem throughout. I got the opportunity to sit in with the EPA evaluation of a major location near here, and they are looking for much more specific measurable goals than I have been doing with people. So I'm going to try to be better about asking for more from you guys so that if they do come out here, we're not caught like that location was. It was very painful to sit through that, and I wasn't even the one being questioned. So measurable goals for every one of your BMPs need to be quantifiable. If you're saying we're going to continue doing that or we're reviewing it annually, when are you reviewing it annually? Put down the date that you intend to review it annually so that the EPA will not go, well, that doesn't tell me anything. So as far as the MS4 program in general, we only have 2 evaluations left this year. So we're very much on track. We're even ahead of time because we're going till June. We have some MCM checks and revisits. Those are not the primary focus, though. The evals are the big ones. So we're really doing well there. We're going to be working on a new general permit coming up this summer. Now, I don't have a whole lot I can talk about that, just that it's coming up in the summer. I believe we're supposed to start June, July, and I hope we'll be done by September. I don't know. I've never been part of a permit creation process before, so it'll be new for me. And finally, the TMDL submissions and QAP TMDL becomes active for everybody in June. And the QAP submissions, this is a new bit, but I can't give you more than the general outline because the news hasn't come down from on high yet. We now are going to only require a QAP if you are going to use the data that you collect with your TMDL to try to submit that you are no longer needing to have that TMDL impairment. Sorry?
The main thing is if you want to submit the data to the DEQ, you have the impairment be part of the data pool to have the impairment reassessed. So other than stuff like what USGS does or the Water Resources Board when they do their testing, if you want your data to be submitted and be part of the national database for assessing impairments, then you have to have a plug. If not, if you're just doing it to comply with permit requirements, you do not need a qual, but you must follow the 40 CFR 136 requirements, standard methods, and that's what you have to have SOPs implemented for all of your sampling protocols and provisions.
So, like Vernon was saying, if you don't have a QAP, that's okay for general purpose, but you can't use that data later. If you find, hey, there's not much going on here, this is old data and we don't have this impairment anymore, you can't use any of the data you've collected so far because you didn't have a QAP. So it's kind of a, and that's all I've got. Sorry, please. 1 second. Quality assurance program. basically. Yep. Yeah, Vernon has a template that's really good. The question is, for Yukon specifically, how are they to access the TMDL areas because they're surrounded by private property? How do they have the authority to do that? Miles, I'll let you take that. Yeah.
So your authority to access but basically it's you're sampling your stormwater system to determine the extent that you're contributing to the impairment, if at all. And so if you're not doing it to reassess the impairment for the stream, so what you're doing is gauging how much you're contributing to the impairment. And the TMDL plan will actually, in the back, I think most of them talk about like what your pollution reduction goals are. So you have to establish first what your contribution is, and then from there start working on BMPs and methods for reducing that contribution to that impairment. And what we're looking for is what your MS4 is actually contributing to that TMDL. So you have to look at your outfall, stream conditions, then you need to gauge like what your measurement of the impairment is. Access, through private property is the same like for anything else. If you have sewer or water there, you have a right to access your right of way. It's the same. It should be the same ordinance, but you should discuss that with your city attorney about gaining access to those areas. But I mean, your stormwater system's your stormwater system. You have a right to access that right of way, and you shouldn't be impaired to be able to do that. So if there's an issue with that, then you need to take that up with your city attorney and try to make sure your ordinances cover the stormwater system as well as the water and sewer. But it's the same kind of philosophy there.
Thank you. Because I didn't know that one. Yeah. Any other questions? All righty. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Miles and Mark. Appreciate you guys giving us that update. Okay, so that's the agenda for today. I want to remind everybody about where our next membership meeting is going to be. It's going to be June 12th for our Q2 meeting at 10 a.m. again. This time it's going to be at the City of Oklahoma City Central Maintenance Facility, and that's at 3738 Southwest 15th Street, Building 3. You'll know this is down near our Household Hazardous Waste Collection Center. We've held meetings there before. I will post a reminder when you visit, just make sure you're parking on the north side. Occasionally we have, the Google will take you to the south side, which is reserved for city vehicles. You'll see it's a big gate. But just if you happen, just try to move around to the north side so we don't have any issues there. Yes, Rebecca.
The agenda has a different, they both are the same complex, so just don't be confused about that.
Yeah, the 16.
We'll have instructions in the calendar.
Yes, the 1621, that is the actual address for the Household Hazardous Waste Center, but it takes you to the same complex. Oh, actually today it's opening. So yeah, our Household Hazardous Waste Center has been shut down for renovation since about mid-February, and it's opening a day earlier than anticipated. When has that ever happened with the city project? But it is now active and available. These are the next membership meeting dates. If you guys want to take a screenshot of that, you'll have calendar invites for these as well. The Q2, as I mentioned, is in OKC. The Q3 meeting is going to be in Edmond. We still are waiting on an address for you there, but it will be in Edmond. And then we're still looking for a location for the Q4 meeting, which is also combined with our annual Christmas party end of year. So all those will be, any of those unknown details, we'll be sharing those with you soon. And then this, if anybody has any new business or any questions, comments, you're welcome to share. I will give you the floor. No questions here. Rebecca, is anything online? Okay. All right. Well, I'll make a motion to adjourn then. Do I have a second? Catherine seconds. And all in favor? Okay, this meeting's adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Thank you all that are online for attending. We appreciate you joining us today. And hope everybody has a great Thursday.